All right, let's talk about the crow. The crow of the reed is so important because it teaches you how your reed is going to function. It's going to let you know if your reed is going to respond well or if it's too sharp or flat. It really tells you what to do next in the reed making process. And once you get super picky about how your crow is, you'll be able to be a better reed maker because you'll look for the same qualities every time, which will help build consistency in your reed making. Let's talk about the first part of the crow. This is what I like to call the peep. The peep of the reed is when you blow just a small amount of air just into the tip of the reed like this. Basically, you want to see how little effort and little air you can put into the reed to get a sound to come out. So that's what we call the peep because we're kind of whimpering or peeping into the reed. If you don't get a peep easily, then your reed's going to be very hard and unresponsive, or not as responsive as you might like. So the peep of the reed and a good peep means your response is going to be really good. After you have a good peep, you put a little more reed in your mouth, so work your way towards the top of the thread, like so. So I peep first, and then start putting a little more reed in my mouth. Notice how we heard a little bit of a rattle. So let's try it again. As I put a little faster air into the reed, the low vibration starts to come in. Notice the peep stays and the first pitch you hear is higher. But then as I blow a little faster air, a lower pitch also comes in. So I have two pitches at once. And the more you put the thread of the reed into your mouth when you crow it, the more rattle you might hear like this. Now, that rattle doesn't sound very good to me, and I don't like to crow my reeds all the way at the bottom of the thread like that because I feel like it doesn't really teach me anything other than the reed is vibrating like crazy. But what I listen for most is the peep of the reed and then when those initial second vibrations come in because you want them to come in relatively soon after you hear the initial octave. This one is pretty good. It comes in and I'm not using much effort. So I'm not blowing all of my air. It's relatively easy, which means this reed's going to be pretty easy to play. Another thing you want to look for is your reed should really ideally crow octave Cs. Sometimes for me, mine crow a sharp B and that's okay. But we all have a different oral cavity here and the direction your air is going into the reed and also your tongue position can play into what that crow is going to sound like. So just take that with a grain of salt when you're thinking of octave Cs. But really you want your air to go straight in front of you when you crow, so don't crow down into the reed. Really imagine like you're playing, you're blowing straight across. Good. Now this one is a little bit low, so it might mean the reed needs a clip. And so those are some of the tests that we can do. Let's see where this reed is at right now. It's pretty good. It feels good to me. I'm actually not going to clip it. I feel like it's balanced pretty nicely. So if you're making reeds and you're not getting that initial peep, then you need to scrape a little bit more out of the tip and maybe the sides around the heart. But check out my other videos as we go into how to adjust reeds.